Good morning, fellow internet travelers. It is a Monday where I am, and I am here to talk about a certain thing. Don't know when this video will go up, because I think my next hit piece on whatever fucking character the poll decides will go up first. So, but I wanted to make this video because it's a clickbait title. It's not really. It's something that I want to talk about. So, a lot of people do ask, is For Honor worth playing? So I want to talk about why For Honor is definitely worth playing in 2025. And if you want the TDLR of is For Honor worth playing, yeah, you dingus, it's fucking fantastic. For Honor is balling, right? There is frankly no other game on the market like it. It is great. Right, so we're going to go over what the good points that I think that For Honor has over basically any other game. So it's a fighting game, right? So For Honor is a fighting game, but it is incredibly unique in its execution. So it's a fighting game, and first off, it's 3D, which I think only like Tekken really does, right? It's a 3D fighting game, and you have full access to the maps that you're playing on, which is very cool. Normally when it's a 3D fighting game, it's a really small, tiny arena, and boring, right? You also as well have MOBA-like elements to it, which is in the main game mode, which is Dominion. You have 3 objectives. You have your home base, your opponents have your home base, and then you have a minion lane in the middle. So basically 3 lanes, so it's kind of like your MOBA elements, and 2 teams of 4. Fantastic. It's great. It's just good. That's fun on itself. You can continuously play Dominion, and there's not many maps. I think, well, there's quite a few actually. But with the amount of games you end up playing on For Honor, you get very used to the maps very quickly. However, it doesn't matter, because the maps are very cool, and it's not necessarily like what you're there for kind of thing. God, what's with the godlike over here? I don't get it. But yeah, For Honor itself is really cool. It also has multiple different modes. If you're into that 3D fighting game thing, and you do like the small arena aspect of it, just play 1v1s. Now, if you're rare in the For Honor community, you have friends. So you can play 2v2s, where the map is still small, a little bigger, but those 2v2s, you can play with your mates. You can do a couple 1v1s with your mates. It's really cool, right? Then you have the big game mode, which is Breach. Breach is cool. Breach, I don't think I've necessarily... If you've ever played a game called Battlefield, you'll kind of get the gist of Rush. Oh, it's called in the shop, by the way. Yeah, Rush. So, Breach reminds me of Rush. You've got to go take points until you can get to a gate, and then your big battering ram's got to get through the gate. Do that twice, then there's a commander that you've got to kill at the end. That's if you're attackers. If you're defenders, you've got to stop the attackers from doing that. Cool. Very long. You either get incredibly easy Breach matches, or the sweatiest fucking matches you've ever played in your entire life. But yeah, Dominion, though, is your main. Dominion. I haven't spelled that, who gives a shit. You've then also got team deathmatch mode, and that's called skirmish. Skirmish, where you just go around, first to 1,000 points, you get points for killing people, and basic fucking stuff, right? And then you have elimination, which is just 4v4s, which is basically, these are all basically the same thing. 1v1s, best of 3, first to 3 kills. Same with 2v2s, same with 4v4s. It's best of 3. It's whoever kills whoever. Cool. You got it. So you've got a bunch of shit you can do. You've also got PvE modes if you don't fancy playing against people. So any of these matches you can play PvAI. And you've also got, if you have the March of Fire update, you have Arcade. Now Arcade is a weird one. So you go through this faux story mode, where you've got maybe 4 to 6 missions, and you have to beat bots essentially. But these games range from pretty easy to kind of hilariously easy to, oh, this is a bit of a challenge, to fucking impossible. It is insane. You can play with 2 people on arcade mode, and those insane modes with 2 people are still fucking insane. They're 5 or 6 times to get it done. It's stupid. Everybody gets modifiers. It's kind of fun. So you've got a breadth. Oh, and then also every now and again, event modes. The event modes are super cool. To a point where, Ubisoft, I think you just need to let us play the event modes in customs. Stop hiding them. Look, they still get the added benefit of, oh, it's back, because you can earn XP on them. But allow me to play the event modes in customs. Just put them as a game mode. It doesn't. You could even cycle them out every week. Just let me fucking play them. So you've got a breadth. Oh, and there's a campaign mode. There is a campaign mode. Campagna. There we go. Campai. There's a campaign mode. That is, if you ever wanted to experience what For Honor was like day one, just go play the campaign. They have not updated it. It's cool. You still have the minion animations. Can't really pick which hero you'd want to play with. I think that would be cool. But then at the same time, because they haven't updated it, they can't really do it. Do they? Breadth. A fucking breadth of content, right? It's wide. You've got shit tons that you can do there. You also then have the actual end game of For Honor, which is fashion. You will notice a thing with any decent game that has good longevity, right? It's the fashion. The ability to customize your character is the end game. You had Destiny 2, which is a very fun game for 40 hours, and then after that it gets repetitive. But the fashion on that game is very cool. You have TF2. Team Fortress 2 is just, what hat can I get now simulator, right? The gameplay is very good. But, you know, again, about the 80 mark, I will know for that there's a high skill ceiling, so I'd say maybe about 200, 300, maybe 400 hours after playing the game, you've probably done it all. And then it's just fashion after that. Fashion's cool, right? Space Marine 2 will go the same way. Because they keep releasing fashionable items, that game will have longevity because of the fashion. I'm telling you, just give monkey-brained apes the ability to change whatever jumper they're wearing, and they'll fucking go ape shit and continue playing your game for 10 years. There is a caveat though, don't put it behind a fucking paywall, because that cheapens the experience of fashion. Cool? If you can earn it in-game and purchase it with in-game currency, bit of a cop-out, and then maybe you could do some monetized shit, right? But, earnable in-game. And then it's cool. Don't put it behind a paywall. Stop putting it behind a paywall. It's fucking silly. You can have the option to buy it with real money, and then you get ridiculed. But you can still have that option and still make the money from that. But yeah, it's like Overwatch. They fucked up there. I digress. This is about For Honor. The fashion is very cool. You also as well have so many cool characters. I can't remember off the top of my head. But these characters that you can play at any time in any of these game modes, there's over 20 characters right now. Each of them pretty unique. Most of them are fucking dodge, dash, unblockable mix-ups, but they still have their own uniqueness, their gimmicks, their good fashion, you know, all this kind of shit, right? So there's a fucking shit ton of characters that you can play. You will find one that you like. You will be wrong because it's not Highlander. If you pick Highlander, you are correct. But if you pick anybody else, incorrect. Highlander is the best hero in the entire game. But yeah, there's a bunch of fucking cool characters that you can play. Also as well, as I said in the fashion section, you can get everything in-game. In-game. Any of the new armors they release, you can earn them by playing matches. You can also get steel, so you can buy stuff. I think the only thing you can't buy is the Battle Pass. But I'm going to be very honest. The Battle Pass effect's kind of fucking so, don't tell them. Some of the executions they've released though are very cool, which kind of makes me want to get the Battle Pass. I do every now and again pick up the Battle Pass. I think it's very fair. You can literally another good point. The Battle Pass. This is a Battle Pass done right. It is very fair. You can basically complete the Battle Pass for playing, I don't know, maybe about 7 hours a week. Do spread out however you like. It's very easy to fucking complete that Battle Pass without even thinking about it. Very fair. If you purchase it, you will finish it if you play the game enough. It's very fair. It's like £9. 9 whole scrollies. That's like, what, the price of half a coffee these days? It's very fair. It's cool. Yeah, don't change this, Ubisoft. This was good. This was good. This is good. You've done good things. This is the last good game you've released. It's fantastic. I also want to talk about the game itself, right? So For Honor, you've got shit tons of cool content, cool characters, the battle pass is very fair, and the fashion is great, right? The UI is pretty good. We do like the UI. Now, the gameplay. They have something called the Art of War, which is basically 3 directions which you can block and attack from, plus a forward direction, which is normally a bash of some sort, which you can't block, which you need to dodge. Cool. That is a very simplistic way of saying 3D fucking chess with a matter of milliseconds between each time, each decision you've got to make, right? Light attacks are 400 milliseconds in length, which is about 0.4 of a second, right? The first 100 milliseconds are hidden, so you actually have 300 milliseconds to predict, react, block, all that shit, right? When you're playing For Honor, it is a match of mind games more than it is a match of technical skill. If you can mind game your opponent to fuck, you can have shit mechanics, as long as you have mind gamed your enemy, right? I often say to people who ask me, oh, I'm getting into For Honor, how long does it take, blah, 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 blah. I often say, for about, after you've played about 25 to 35 hours of the game, mechanically you're probably at an okay level, right? You're mechanically probably, you know what you're doing, fine, whatever, right? After that 35 hours though, it's all up here. It's all mind games, mate. This is why it's 3D chess, but quick. Because you have to know your character, you have to know your character's moveset and what they can do. You then have to know every other character's moveset and what you can do. This though, you'll get from playing the game. You'll just kind of pick up what they can do and what they can't do. So you have to be well aware of those two things, while you try and feint the fuck out of your opponent, or your opponent feints the fuck out of you. If you're trying to bait, For Honor is whoever makes the first mistake first loses. Well, they don't lose, but you're trying to make your opponent fuck up, right? Which is fucking cool. The mind games are balling. You can win these mind games in many different ways, right? You could win the physical mind game, which is you just outplay your opponent, and it feels fucking fantastic. Or you can win the emotional mind game, which is if you piss your opponent off enough, they will make mistakes. You can do this by a variety of means. You can do it with emote spamming their dead body. You can also do this by, if you want to play another game with them, if you say GGEs. Even if you lose. It is even better if you lose. If you lose and say GGEs when you're 1-8, you win the emotional mind game, right? I have become immune to this because in my head I'm like, it is rude if you don't do this. So to me it doesn't matter. It's funny. I do it sometimes, especially when the person on the enemy team has been a dick. If he's been a dick, he gets warlord teabagged. That's all I'm saying. Makes my day, makes everybody's day. Very funny. But yeah, there is no other, basically to summarise, there is no other game on the market where it's such a flip-flop of emotions, right? Name another game where you can 1 minute demolish your opponents like they could not do a single thing, like you are parrying them, you're correctly reading them, or you're just reacting to them and they can't do anything, and then the next game you get demolished. But it's not like, there's only some things in For Honor, right, where you can go, that was bullshit, that wasn't fair. Most of the time, you fucked up and you know it, but you want to blame something else. It's the old adage of For Honor, holy shit, I parried that harder edition. If you parried it, you would have parried it. You've just probably mistimed it. It's whatever. It's a skill. We all have skill issues. If we didn't have skill issues, we'd all be cheating. We'd all be fucking robots, right? It's a skill issue. But yeah, For Honor's cool. It's dope. There's a good vibe, brilliant gameplay, the elation of winning and losing, that's fantastic. The fashion's great, the characters, the actual amount of characters, there's a new one coming out at the end of this month as well. The amount of characters you get, the variety, the different gameplays, different game modes, the map variety, the art direction, It's all fantastic. So, to save this video being any longer than it currently is For Honor in 2025 worth playing? Yeah. Are you a dingus? Have you not? It's worth playing. It's great. It's actually better than most AAA games that have been released now. Period. It's fantastic. Ubisoft cooked with this one, and I know you'll get a bunch of people who go, server stability issues. You get disconnected from every fucking game. It's whatever, right? If you're complaining about the stability of the servers, which, by the way, in the UK and Europe, you don't really get disconnected from too many games. So over here, the French have actually cooked. Ubisoft is French. As an Englishman, that feels gross to say. But I'm saying that Ubisoft did good. For Honor is definitely worth playing. If you're brand new, just leave a comment and then we'll do some streams about teaching people how to play and all this stuff. I am probably not the best to teach you because I go basically off reactions and I know nothing about the game. I'm there for a good time, mate. I'm just there. I'm there for a good time. But yeah, play For Honor. For Honor is great. It's fantastic. If you haven't played it, it's a game unlike anything else and it is balling. So yes, I hope to see any new people on the battlefield. And if you are, join my stream and I will teach you the ways of the stupidity. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you are new, drop it down below and we can have a discussion on why you definitely should be playing this game. Alright, no worries. Sayonara, boys.